Hey, wait a second. Where's Bill?
I don't know. I think he said he was doing a thing.
Oh, yeah.
No! Oh no, we lost them. We lost the little square. Yeah, I feel like this one's fucked. Ooh, somebody showering. I'm gonna take a peek. Ooh. Do 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 do. I see a shotgun. Oh god, did I take it? Oh no! I just flopped to the floor.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Unfortunately, Bill is not here. He is doing a thing. But
Yep, here's hoping Bricky Dave helps.
yes, Bricky Dave, save Bill. But with us today, we have, of course, the lovely Your Only Maid.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
The... Sorry.
That's actually a lovely little intro. Better than what Billy gives. Not gonna lie.
Okay. The very popular and very fanatic Keir is returning once again. Keir, welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
And we actually have another guest on. He's actually a good friend of mine, and I've been wanting to get him on the podcast to talk about something we're talking about later. Please welcome Fireball. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm a real fucking vampire.
We'll get to that later.
Wait, but how did you get in here? Wait, oh, right, yeah, Sean invited you in. Damn it.
Yep. Vampire rule number 1. They can't come in unless you invite them in. So, in this edition of Last Discuss Death Battle, we are talking about episode 150, Macho Man versus the Kool Aid Man.
Who feigns to be 150?
I said episode 150.
No, I'm just saying of all matchups to be 150 because, like,
Yeah.
okay, for episodes 25 and 50, we had Goku versus Superman. For 75, Megazord versus Voltron. 100, Mario versus Sonic. And then there's this.
And we don't talk about 125.
Hey, at least Chad James gets his death battle finally.
True.
Yeah, after 10 years. And did you guys see on Twitter that someone dug up his tweet of him just saying, rejected death battle idea, Macho Man versus Kool Aid Man from 10 years ago?
I'm pretty sure I showed that in our chat, actually. Like, the Death Battle
You
Twitter
did.
found it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the question is, was he like me and got shafted in that department? Or
Well-
did he get what he wanted?
Well, as soon as we're in the intro, we'll get into Macho Man vs. Kool Aid Man, where we'll be talking about the next time a Halloween episode that I hope just doesn't suck.
Well, the last one was awesome.
Oh,
It wasn't really that awesome.
Vampire joke aside, and we'll be getting to know our other guests a little bit more.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
You taught me well, Yang. You taught me well. Suck, vampires suck blood. The end.
Oh,
So,
resist
Barbara.
the urge.
exactly. But, speaking of Barbara, she was actually in this episode. Macho Man vs. Kool Aid Man.
Yeah, let's talk about this episode.
The shortest
What the
episode...
fuck did we watch?
I know, right?
If you are on Rooster Teeth first, this episode was just over, like, 12 minutes. And if you're on YouTube...
12,
Go ahead.
12 minutes, 31 seconds.
And if you're on YouTube, it's under 15 minutes.
What happened?
Well, they did say this was going to be a different episode. And first thing first, we get a call from Ringmaster. Because this episode, not just about the debate, but also about Boomstick's dad.
Yeah, I think they said in the commentary it's more so about Boomstick's dad, but Macho Man vs. Kool Aid Man is just, like, going on as well.
Which I don't think...
no, they really shouldn't have.
I don't think that's inherently a bad thing,
thought-
though.
No, I don't either.
when that is the main focus of the episode over the fight, that's a problem.
I mean, they're trying something different.
That is true. It's not the first time they've done an episode like this. We can go back to either the 7 Battle Royale, or even someone brought this episode up recently in Duo Server, Meta versus Carolina.
And
Oh,
I guess you could
that's
also,
awesome.
I guess you could also say, I guess you could also add like Deadpool versus Pinky and Deadpool versus the Mask to those as well.
No, I'm thinking the overall structure, this is like the 7 Battle Royale. Unlike the others that we mentioned, those are structures like actual episodes. They're
Right.
not. They're not very. They didn't mess with the formula too
Yeah.
much.
Although Meta versus Carolina did a bunch.
No,
Yeah,
they
but it was-
had all
it was
those
a fun
skits which made sense with what they were doing.
It was a fun match. I will agree with that statement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorites of season 3.
Oh yeah.
So,
It was.
going by that, of course, I thought it was really fun to see the. It felt like the Death Battle, like, crew was actually watching the fight as it happens instead of like what they would normally do, which is like a simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with having Wiz Boomstick and Ringmaster like right there.
And Jocelyn back at the hideout? No, headquarters. Yeah, there we go.
The lab.
The lab.
And
Yeah.
stuck with everyone's favorite, soon-to-be plush toy, we hope, Dummy!
Give us a plushie of him!
I want one.
Hey.
That was actually pretty good.
Oh, quick little thing I just realized. When Ringmaster calls and it shows up on the TV, like, the accept and decline are skulls.
That's a cute detail.
Yeah. Also, when Boomstick answers, look at Wiz, he, like, crosses his arms and looks away all mad.
He's
You-
like, ugh.
You
Like
didn't,
This
this.
guy.
you think he's jealous of Ringmaster at all?
Well, there's, yeah, jealousy of Ringmaster being Boomstick's best bud. And also, I don't think they really got along in DBX.
Probably not. But we'll try to.
Corpse really does
Yeah.
say something about that.
Also, it felt kind of cool with them going to see a Death Battle live. They kind of did an explanation like on the fly as well, like when they were in the field, starting with the Macho Man analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just shows up out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Now this went sort of like the second Goku versus Superman.
Oh, how so?
They went from one analysis to another without going into like, without even like completing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good point.
Oh, you know what? That was the 50th episode. This is the 150th episode.
100 years later, we're doing that formula again.
Just don't let that be Alex versus Cole.
Oof. But the Macho Man
Have
analysis.
that be like Hermione versus Juggernaut or something.
I actually want that to happen.
Episode 200, Hermione Ranger versus the Juggernaut.
the joke fight we didn't. We
it's
want.
done like this.
Yes, I am down for that. But back to Mr. Randy Savage real quick. It was kind of cool that they brought up a real life fact at first because, you know, the whole episode being about Boomstick's dad, and which is like, wait, no, he never had any kids.
Yeah, because they were just told, all right, I got a tip from a guy, he's wearing red. And yeah, Randy Savage is wearing red. So Boomstick is just like, are you my dad? Hey?
Let's be honest though, wouldn't we want Macho Man as our dad?
I could name you about 10 reasons why you wouldn't.
Okay, fair.
I no doubt.
Nah, I'm good with the dad I have.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I love.
But I still would like to have Randy Savage as one too.
I liked how they got the cream of the crop promo as part of not only the fight, which we're talking about in a little bit, but also his promo. Well, his analysis, I should say.
Hmm.
And that
It
was
would have
all.
been funny if they had him do a promo like a analysis.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool, but it would have taken away from the fact we have Wiz and Boomstick already there. So
Yeah, fair.
You're already messing around with the formula. Why not mess around with it some more?
I think they're just trying to find a balance in what they want to try that's new and innovative or not. Plus, if Randy Savage was talking through his analysis, people might think he's like a fourth wall breaker of sorts, maybe.
You were already kind of breaking the fourth wall with this fight.
Yeah.
They broke more than just that wall. They broke a lot of walls, it seems.
And speaking of breaking walls, Kool Aid Man out of nowhere because someone said thirsty.
Oh, yeah. Did someone say thirsty?
I think we're skipping through a few things here.
If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of how the episode went.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Eh,
there were some things that, like, in the Macho Man analysis, I thought, you know, when we initially talked about this in, like, a private chat, I wasn't sure if they should count it or not. That being the whole him going toe-to-toe with Spider-Man and the whole wrestler thing. I wasn't sure should actually have counted that. But they did.
Well, did we know that was the only thing they really counted? Being
Well,
for the
they kinda-
wrestler.
they counted all the other fictional stuff with Chuck Norris in his death battle.
That didn't even play into effect. That's
Well-
what confused me the most.
I don't know how much that would actually have affected the outcome anyway that they reached.
Isn't Chuck Norris universal in terms of power output?
Oh yeah, they said in Chuck v. Segator, the scientists came to the conclusion that the output of the Big Bang is the equivalent to 1 CNRK, which is 1 Chuck Norris roundhouse kick.
And the Macho Man survived being kicked and punched by Chuck Norris.
Well, and then, of course, there was the whole them talking about his analysis as the action's going on. They brought up WWE Story Time, which is an animation that they do, which I thought was kind of hilarious with the dialogue that Kool Aid Man said afterwards, like, "Oh no, snakes!"
Did anyone else get Knuckles vibes from that? The way he said, "Oh no."
You say that I can't really get out of my head now.
God damn it, Mark.
Ba-dum-bum. But maybe there were some things that they couldn't talk about because they wasn't sure like how it would affect the episode as a whole. Because again, the primary focus wasn't the debate itself; it was more so centered around Boomstick's dad.
Yeah.
Which I'll go into later why I didn't think that was a good idea.
But then, as Meg was saying, all of a sudden, here comes the Kool Aid Man bursting through the scene, talking about being thirsty. And then we learn the Kool Aid Man's backstory.
Yeah. I just want to quickly just add, like, huge props to the animators, because look at the animation at the top of Kool Aid Man. They always have, like, the ice cubes just jostling around.
Yeah, they did a really good job animating him.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Better than how his product tastes.
Oh yeah, you tried Kool Aid on your last reaction, didn't you?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Fair.
Shots fired.
Yeah. No, someone commented on my reaction, if it didn't taste good, just add a bunch more sugar to it. That just tells me, is Kool-Aid essentially just Sunny D? Where it's just all sugar and barely any flavor?
It might be how it is nowadays. It was different back when we were growing up. I'll say that much.
Okay, if it's different like back then okay, sure, fair enough.
I mean, this guy's been around since the 50s. You imagine that some stuff has to have changed by then. What a backstory this guy has, though. Like, he fights for thirst and crime, and he's a 11,000-pound pitcher.
God damn.
That's insane.
How do they? Do you think that way counts with the Kool Aid inside, or is that just the picture itself?
Who knows?
I think it's with the Kool Aid inside.
Hmm. Also, yeah, I forgot to mention this. We'll talk about it actually when we get to the animation portion. But I think make notes what I was going to try to say.
Part
But
of the animation.
well, part of the analysis as well. Apparently they concluded this on the community death battle, and it's different than what they said in the actual episode. Like, where is his soul? What is the Kool Aid Man?
It's both.
Which is his hole? Yes.
Essentially. Which is just like, how? Why? What were they thinking?
Don't question it.
You're right. Every time I try to question anything, it just doesn't make any more sense.
Sometimes it's best not to question anything.
It's like the plot of Kingdom Hearts. Don't go too deep into it.
Oh, don't remind
Pretty
me.
much.
But yeah, and it was really interesting. That also ties into how we got to see Jocelyn for the first time. It's just like, so how many tons of TNT has had? What? You're the math guy. Math it up.
Also, poor dummy. Like, they asked Jocelyn, and he's like, fine, don't ask me. The actual living computer. Done. Sigh.
That just shows that Jocelyn's faster than Dummy at doing math.
Oh, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Also, while we're talking about, like, Jocelyn and Dummy being, like, at the lab in place of Wiz and Boomstick, I remember hearing this idea, like, what if Ben or Chad were sick and couldn't record, like, for Wiz or Boomstick? Like, if that happens, maybe the idea could be just, like, swap one of them out for either Jocelyn, Dummy, or even Ringmaster.
I was gonna say, like, if they ever, once they do Wiz versus Boomstick, those two might be the people who do the analysis and everything to make sure it's unbiased.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That's an episode I could see being done like this one.
Yeah. Which again,
And my concerns for that episode have now skyrocketed. Thank you.
so
All I request is that episode end like how Patrick versus SpongeBob went.
oh god.
The whole you do care, they just like cry, walk off into the sunset, and everyone's just like, hey, get back here and kill each other!
That would be fantastic.
That's it. That's the way I want it to end, okay?
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yes, it would be. But
It'd also piss off a lot of people, but I don't care.
I will say though, it's just like one of the coolest things about this episode was just how insane the Kool Aid Man is, and like just hearing everything. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
You know, right?
Yeah, they mentioned in the commentary, it's like when you look at like a advert mascot as seriously as you would for just anyone appearing in Death Battle, you go into it thinking, okay, it can't be that insane, right?
You know, right? I didn't know that the Kool Aid Man was this powerful.
We were foolish.
It's like the Smokey the Bear versus McRuffin, the crime dog situation.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
But
Although I think a lot of people, like, leading up to that, they were just under the impression, yeah, Smokey's gonna win because, well, it's a bear versus a dog.
I never thought of that.
yeah,
John McGruff just pulls out a Glock and just aims it at the bear.
Fireball was more concerned that Chris Sabat was voicing Smokey the Bear.
He did great, honestly.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So did all the voice actors who portrayed the characters, honestly. Especially the person they got playing Kool Aid Man, which I think was Tom.
It was.
Yeah.
He did fantastic as Kool Aid Man.
Yeah, and we had Ann Fish voicing Macho Man.
Which wasn't that
Yep.
bad.
Yeah, even though we have someone at Steve who can do a really good Macho Man impression.
And who would that be?
Blaine Gibson.
Oh.
Yeah, He did a Macho Man based character in Hardcore Mini Golf.
Oh yeah, he did. That was funny.
He really looked the part.
Although if anyone was hilarious in that, it was Jeremy.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I won't spoil anything. Just go watch it, and when Jeremy shows up, it's just amazing
I will say though that like the voice acting was
and
fantastic.
terrifying.
Yeah. You know what else was terrifying? The way this animation started. Just them going, oh yeah? Oh yeah. Like back and forth.
Sure, I didn't get my promo battle I wanted before the fight.
Yeah, one line I would have loved to just like be thrown in there for a piss take, like because death battle animations normally go on for like 3 minutes or something, right?
Yeah.
So what if at the start, Macho Man was saying, "Hey, freak show, you're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes of playtime."
That's also what I was hoping for, but nope.
Oh well, what can you do?
No Bonesaw promo this time.
Yeah, they showed him in the analysis though. That's all I was asking for.
And they used his feat of fighting Spider-Man.
I'm satisfied.
I don't even think that equated to much.
Yeah.
Although Spider-Man won, so doesn't that make Raimi Spider-Man overpowered as fuck?
Yes.
I mean, Spider-Man won his episode, didn't he?
Raimi Spider-Man win.
So,
Oh no, here's a question, because there's that rumor that Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to show up in the next Spider-Man film alongside Tom Holland. If they fight, that's some possible scaling for those versions.
oh my god.
I highly doubt they'll fight.
I mean, you never know.
They almost have to.
It'll be the closest thing we get to a Spider-Man Battle Royale, I guess.
I just
Well,
want
that'd
them
be into
to.
Spider-Verse.
I just want them to recreate the "you're pointing at me" meme, but with the 3 of them.
that would be awesome.
Wait, but you're me. No, you're me. No, you are me.
They've already done that.
No, but not in live action.
So, back to the animation for this. It was all over the place. Because, like, the analysis, they were talking over some parts of the animation, too. Which was a
Yeah, that
interesting
I
detail.
merely wasn't. I merely wasn't too big of a fan of that. Just midway through the fight, do more analysis.
I wasn't a fan of that either.
I don't think a lot of people were. It takes you out of the fight.
Although, I still find Kool Aid Man freaking out about snakes as soon as that gets mentioned hilarious.
I can't get Knuckles out of my head for that.
Oh no.
But instead of coconuts, it's snakes. And then we get to... Go ahead.
And like the whole time, just Boomstick just thinking Macho Man is his dad, and him and Ringmaster being like, "Hey, don't worry, bud. Your dad's got this. Oh yeah."
And then Wiz just walks away.
He's like, "I'm done."
And then we get to one of the coolest parts of this animation. They go into a portal, and we get claymation stop motion. Go ahead.
Before that, this moment right before Kool Aid Man touches the Slim Jim and turns it to Kool Aid. Did you see that thing I posted in the Probuscast server?
Which thing?
Hang on, I'll see if I can find it.
There's a lot of stuff from Z-Dog in here already.
God damn it, Z-Dog.
If you're gonna thumbnail drop, you gotta thumbnail drop.
Dull. But yeah.
Anyway, keep talking, I'll find it.
But yeah, Macho Man Slim Jim turns into Kool-Aid, and that Kool-Aid makes a huge portal, and then they drop her into this claymation. Oh, yeah, that.
Oh yeah. I thought of that when I was watching your reaction to it, mate.
Oh, cheers.
That's actually pretty cool. like how they did that.
Hmm.
Like
I love that.
it's unintentional, I bet.
I mean, you never know.
I think it's more probability that it's intentional.
But the claymation stop motion stuff, which was done by Luis.
Oh my god, it was so good.
I mean, considering people are going to use the sneak peek image as a backdrop for other things, yeah. And now that this has happened, go ahead.
Now we're just waiting for a full-on stop motion animated death battle.
Yeah, we are. It's hard to say what would fit that, though, honestly, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I got one.
Oh, yeah?
What is it?
I said I ain't.
Oh.
But that was really, really cool, even though it didn't last as long. Because the thing about stop motion, that process takes a long time.
Yeah.
Looks like it does, yeah.
Also, despite this being a crazy thing for Luis to decide to just do for a matchup, he confirmed on the commentary he was not drunk when asking that time.
Yeah.
Reference to what Torian did with Breakdancing Deadpool.
And what Luis did with Jack vs. Afro.
He was drunk for that?
No, he wasn't drunk animating that. He was drunk at a Christmas party at Rooster Teeth. He walked up to Ben and said, "Hey, I want us to do Samurai Jack vs. Afro Samurai, and I want to do the whole thing hand-drawn." Ben took him seriously, and the next day he woke up like, "What have I done?"
What did I agree to?
Regrets after a drunken night.
That's a hangover and a half. But
as we come up to the death,
yeah,
I found out a little something from the commentary.
Yeah.
So, when they first talked about it, like 10 years ago, one of Chad's ideas was, well, couldn't Kool Aid Man just trap Macho Man inside himself, flip upside down, and just drown him? But then Ben retorted, well, couldn't he just drink the Kool Aid and then break out of him? That was the very first argument they had for it, so they referenced it in this animation.
That's awesome.
And painful looking.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone brought up, oh, but he can control Kool Aid, including the one, even what people have drunk.
Surprisingly enough, that has not stopped me from drinking Kool Aid.
They made it all pretty and colorful.
I wonder why they don't sell it in the UK.
Rainbows.
Okay, a rainbow explodes out of his chest. I'm gonna hate myself for making this joke a little bit. But Macho Man died saying gay rights.
Yeah, I just only have one problem with the death.
What would that be, Keir?
It's because of how Macho Man actually died IRL.
Oh, yeah.
He did die
Yeah.
due to a heart attack.
Oof.
It's in peace, legend.
Yeah. Ben did touch on that in the commentary. That's kind of why he wanted this to be more cartoony. So it didn't seem like they were directly referencing it. I'm paraphrasing here, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No, but
understand.
when a lot of people do say it doesn't feel right. It just.
No, I get ya.
Yeah, I understand.
And then after the death happened, Booms, before Randy actually does officially die, he's like, "I ain't your daddy, kid." Blah.
We'll be calling back to that later.
Foreshadowing.
And then Boomstick looks at Kool Aid Man and goes, "Oh my god."
Well, because Ringmaster says, wait a minute, if he's not your dad, and your dad is here in red, that can only mean...
Kool Aid Man. Ooh yeah.
A giant picture of someone's dad. That would be a fragile relationship if I've ever seen one.
And I'm sitting here going, how does Kool Aid Man reproduce?
Of course you think that.
Admittedly,
So,
one of my first thoughts when we were about to go into that is just like, does Kool Aid Man even have a penis?
Yeah, that's a genuine question. How does he reproduce?
How does a pitcher like does it?
I don't think we want to know.
Well, this is something Boomstick should have been asking. He shouldn't have just accepted I'm his son. He should have been like, how the fuck would that work?
Does he even have junk?
Ew. Or
does
I
he-
just think I know a way, and I don't want to think about it.
I was gonna say
I guess
maybe.
you can argue.
Okay.
I guess you can argue. Look, it's inside the pitcher.
Oh,
Ew.
I was more so thinking like he created Boomstick from Kool Aid itself. That's a plot twist.
Okay, you know what? That I could understand. I mean, he can control all Kool Aid. Why not just make it into a person?
And that's playing God. And playing God never ends well.
To be fair, they
Nah.
said Kool Aid Man was a deity, which is equivalent to a god.
Oh yeah, true.
But that concludes the fight animation. I will say that it was an interesting animation. Probably going to be. Actually, I was going to say this is the shortest one we had in a while, just barely beating out Black Canary versus Sindel's fight of last season.
Was it last season?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Canary
Yeah.
and Sindel fought last season.
Oh, I could have sworn that was 2 seasons ago.
Nope.
No, they fought.
Kinda shows how forgettable that matchup was.
I had it as number 11 on
Shots
my list.
fired.
I enjoyed it better than Gore versus Machamp, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Get
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna need to have a serious talk about that, Sean.
Maybe another time.
We're gonna have to bust into his house like Machamp did.
No,
I'm just
do
gonna
not break down my wall.
Oh, I'm gonna break it down like there's walls of Jericho.
More
Oh
wrestling
no, you know
references.
what? You know what? Machamp's gonna come in through the ceiling, and then Macho Man and Kool Aid Man are gonna come in through the walls. Where's that spinoff?
They need to find someone to come up from the floors first.
Oh yeah,
I'll do
true.
that.
But honestly,
Oh, that could be Bugs Bunny. That's how he gets around. There we go.
once that
Unless
episode
he
happens.
takes unless he takes a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Oh, true.
Yeah, true. Always Albuquerque.
New Mexico's a weird place.
Hmm.
But the whole fight animation itself was very colorful. I thought the voice acting in it was fantastic.
Yep. Oh, they also confirmed in the commentary that the setting is from Camp Camp.
Makes sense, especially when you realize that the RT team was the one that hand drew this one.
Yeah. In fact, they were even joking. One thing Ben wished they could have done was just have Max, Nikki, and Neil just in the background watching the fight, be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
And Max
I'm
going,
been on the phone call
I
going,
don't know, but I like it.
I can't talk right now. I am watching a dead man fight a giant pitcher full of Kool Aid.
I
Yes,
also
this is actually happening.
You know what? Nikki would be so down for watching that.
Yeah.
I do like that in the end though that Kool Aid Man revives Macho Man and they just go, "Oh yeah, same time next week." Oh yeah.
Our second episode to end in friendship. The first being Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. Speaking of who,
It's Deadpool. And it's
he's
Taka.
back.
Taka returns to
Voiced
us
by
once
none other
again.
than Takahata 101.
Exactly. Because we wouldn't have it any other way.
Mm.
Also,
I don't know. Maybe have Ryan Reynolds do the voice would be fun.
Oh, could you imagine that plot twist?
just have the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool kill the Taka Deadpool and be like, "I'm running this show now." But no,
or even like, no, he shows up, it's Taka, but then he starts coughing, And then it's Ryan Reynolds saying, "Oh, I had something in my throat there. Sorry."
But honestly, like, I know some people don't like Deadpool cameos, but this one was
I'm
great.
one of them.
I liked it. I like this Deadpool cameo, honestly.
Same.
And me too. You're
I'm
all
just
alone
starting to
here.
get. I'm just starting to get sick of him.
But it wasn't as bad as some of his other ones, and it was kind of brief.
Yes, it wasn't too long. I will say that.
So
Also, in the commentary, they mentioned that, yeah, Deadpool is kind of the reason this fight even happens.
Yep.
yeah, that's
He,
true.
he brings Macho Man here. Well, I guess he's not really responsible for Kool Aid Man. He just shows up.
Yep.
But still.
Yeah.
Just that realization. Oh, but I have no idea what your dad is. But Macho does. You can just ask, oh, right.
And then after he gets resurrected, we get to meet, well, someone that's hiding inside a trailer somehow in camp. And
There's a trailer park in Camp.
and we meet the one and only Mama Boomstick, voiced by Barbara Dunkelman.
Hell yeah.
Which is
I
something
like
they
Barbara,
alluded
okay.
to. Which is something they alluded to years ago.
Yeah, Mate brought this up that he wanted that to happen as soon as Barbara got announced.
Yeah, and when they were playing this episode, Chad got the script and it said Mama Boomstick was listed. He sent it to Barbara with just, it's time.
Oh yeah.
Like, they knew back then, like 6 years ago when they did Yang vs. Tifa, they were just like, no, if Mama Boomstick or Grandma Boomstick, whichever, appears in Death Battle, it's got to be voiced by Barbara.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, I saw that.
You didn't exactly get Grandma Boomstick, but you got Mama Boomstick, and I like the design.
Same, same concept.
I like the design
really.
of Mama Boomstick, honestly.
Yeah.
And they taught Boomstick a valuable lesson that day.
Yeah, I really like this like little message that Boomstick gets.
And
Very
then,
wholesome.
and then it's back to hunting squirrels, and Boomstick just having the time of his life.
Yeah, and okay, a lot of people were probably annoyed by this, but honestly, I think this is a good way to wrap up the whole Boomstick Dad thing, because, like, he didn't really need to meet his dad. He just needed to learn to, like, move on. And the fact that he's done that and seems content going forward, I think that's nice.
Well, maybe it is for Boomstick, but then we get our next appearance in the form of Sarge, voiced by Matt Holland.
Sarge is just
He's just like,
Down for the blues.
he's just like, wait a minute, that voice sounds familiar.
I gotta do the exact line. He's like, wait a Davy Crockett minute. That boy sounds familiar. There we get a
I
little,
love
little
Sarge.
consolation.
Yeah, that was nice.
On a shirt that I want to get.
Sarge is basically my favorite Red versus Blue character.
Good choice. Also, Kier, they did make that a shirt.
I know that's why I said I need to get it.
That's an
Also, the final line of the episode. Wait, great, Caesar's juices. Did I have a son?
and thus I feel like they left it on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
The one
Till
that,
the next Red versus Blue type of death battle or something. I don't know.
Sarge versus Soldier when?
no idea.
Not for a while.
Here's my only question about the Sarge cameo. Why do you guys think they did his Red versus Blue model and not just a hand-drawn model?
I imagine it was just easier.
Yeah.
It's something they've done before.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
kind of felt out of place compared to the background.
Like, yeah, it's a
Oh.
little weird, him being
That's fair.
3D and the background being 2D, but, like, I mean, look, if it saves budget, it saves budget.
All right,
It doesn't look too bad to me.
Kier, I know you want to.
Same.
I know Kier wants to rant a little bit about this episode, but I do want to bring up one more thing before I let Kier have his moment. That being,
Good.
oh yeah, literally the name of the soundtrack by Werewolf Media. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, there was nothing else they could have named it.
Yeah, I just had 2 requests for the soundtrack. It be called that, and it has to play Macho Man's theme at some point,
And they did both.
which I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I thought with the fight, it's pretty solid. As its own, a little comedic. But it's not a bad thing.
A little? It's really comedic.
Yeah, it's definitely a contender for funniest episode this season.
Yeah. However, unlike some people who really enjoyed this episode had a good amount of people who don't like this episode.
It was a very mixed response from what I saw.
Yeah, same.
Kier, I
Yeah.
know, wasn't that big on it, so go ahead and have some time, Kier.
Right. As someone who came onto this podcast to discuss this fight, I felt massively let down. It's kind of like how I felt after I rewatched Sub-Zero vs. Glaciers about 1,000,000 times when it first came out. My main problem is that I came here to watch the Macho Man fight the Kool Aid Man. I just didn't want Boomstick's Dad's lore to overtake the focus of the episode, which was a concern many had, which turns out to be a valid concern because that's what most of the episode was about. And I'm personally not fond of that.
Honest question, though. Do you think if the reputation's like this, because, who knows, does this mean that some people might not want other WWE characters in Death Battle, or do you think this is just going to be like a one-time deal, and hopefully they move
I'm going
on?
to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. But but then the fact that the analysis kind of like wasn't the way that I wanted, because originally in my head I just envisioned your normal episode, but you had the fighters themselves like in their analysis like making references and stuff and bringing up little facts about themselves.
Like Macho Man just adding, "Oh yeah, the Macho Man is the cream, and I'm always rising to the top."
Exactly, stuff like that. But after about when the preview pretty much ends, then it's straight onto the Kool Aid Man, and then they start going onto their powers, and I'm like, huh? The basin's all over the place, and not in a good way.
Mm.
It doesn't have a steady flow. It feels like it's being chopped up. And then there was the fact that the fight itself got interrupted.
Yeah, that I'll admit, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, neither.
Interrupting the fight is like watching someone's reaction to like an epic rap battles of history, and they keep pausing it during the rap battle. You're like, just watch it all in the one. And that's another issue I have, but that's not important to this discussion. And then there was the fact that the only feats they really used for the Macho Man were from the wrestler, from Dexter's laboratory, not from his actual WWE run, which lasted for about 10 years, or anything from WCW, which was bonkers. Not even anything from his TNA days. I just felt like this episode was not what I wanted.
It felt watered down, essentially.
Yeah, kind of like how what mate thought of Kool Aid.
I can understand.
Everyone was talking about how good it's going to be, but when you actually get to it, it's massively disappointing.
Well, that also
I
might be
can understand your concerns.
that also might be the fact that maybe we also kind of overhyped this episode a little bit. But then again, this
Yeah.
was episode 150, so
Yeah, we did want. I just wanted a 4-minute fight between these two, a good analysis, and I'll be honest, they left out a lot of shit. And I'll explain that in a little bit what I mean by how much they left out.
mm-hmm.
But I just don't, I don't even think they did the Kool Aid Man that much justice either. There was certain bits for the Kool Aid Man that I noticed they left out. I mean, I read that J1 blog quite thoroughly. So, but before I continue on my little rant, I do want to mention the positives I do have for this episode.
Mm.
One, I personally think they did get the characters down right, the Macho Man and the Kool Aid Man, and they are voiced quite well. Two, the fight track was honestly one of the best things about this fight. I mean, I
Yeah,
listened to it when it dropped for UK viewers during Saturday. And
I
was
still
like,
have yet to listen to the track on its own, but unlike Poe vs. Iron Fist, I could actually like notice the track when I watch it.
Mm.
yeah, that's a major problem with that episode. And the third thing is, it opens the door for potential more WWE matchups.
Which, for
And
your sake, I hope they do.
which I hope they take seriously. Because a serious Undertaker versus Itachi episode sounds
Oh my
amazing.
god, yes!
Just because I know there's going to be reactors out there that are going to be surprised by it. And that is honestly worth it, if you ask me.
Hmm.
But I just felt like this episode really could have been a lot more than what it was. I mean, I think I should have noticed my concerns when I thought I heard Red versus Blue stuff in the soundtrack at first, and then noticing the episode length was shorter than Blake versus Mikasa, which I thought was going to be the shortest fight of the season. Or shortest episode, sorry. Just a large combination of things, and if it went how I'd hoped, this episode would honestly be fighting Blake versus Clyde and Blake versus Mikasa for favourite of the season, but
Mm.
sadly, it's like some others, it's not going to fare well in the long run.
Is it the weakest episode you think so far of the season, or do you think people are exaggerating a little too much with that statement?
It depends. It depends, because for me, there have been slightly more disappointing episodes. Like, I'm like one of the few people that didn't think that Yoda versus King Mickey was that good.
Okay.
Mainly because it features King Mickey, and I clocked out of Kingdom Hearts' plot a long ass time ago because, oh my god, I do not care. It's why I like Woody so much in the third game, in Kingdom Hearts 3, because he's just like, goes, I don't care what's going on. Well, that's a discussion for another time if anyone wants to talk Kingdom Hearts. And the other one, which will surprise people, is Poe versus Iron Fist.
I mean, Mate doesn't like Poe vs. Iron Fist that much.
Yeah, I don't hate the episode. I just like a bunch of the other episodes more.
Exactly.
Yeah, my problem with this is that it's mostly due to the animation and the music. Because I did like the analysis in that. And I did agree with the winner, because of course, Poe won. We all agreed that before the episode aired.
Yeah.
It was just that the animation itself. If you watch it, some of the hits, they don't feel like they register. It's like when I watched the Star Wars duel, like the lightsaber duel in Episode 3. I personally don't think it's that good, the one between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And if you're wondering why, my reasons are kind of similar to the Unusual Suspect in his review. It's a lot of the hits, especially in First Business Pro, they don't register. They don't sound crunchy. Sound effect in a fight does go a long way for me. And also the fight soundtrack, it was non-existent.
I mean, it was existent around the end, but that's about it. And I'll add, like, that's the only real bit where the fight gets, like, epic for me. Although to be fair, it's more so meant to be a comedic fight, so yeah.
Yeah, also
I'm playing
because
devil's advocate with it.
I was hearing rumors that this episode kind of went overdid stuff, which led on to the next episode, which was Steven versus Star, if I'm not mistaken. Related to
Yes.
that, get stuff cut, which that episode honestly needed more. So I felt like both of his Iron Fist went on a little too long.
All right. So, is that all you have to say for now, Keir?
Here?
He's muted. So, before I forget, I do want to let people know a couple other things. That, first of all, Nate and I finally took an L this season. I hope you folks are happy. We're tied again.
You win some, you lose some.
And we actually have a quote from Bill about what he thought of the episode that I'm going to read right now.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was the funniest episode this show has had. End quote. So that is Bill's statement, and I definitely see where Bill's going with this. This was definitely a funny episode. Like, I was smiling and laughing a lot more through this episode.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily call it the funniest episode they've ever had. Like it's not Hercule versus Dan levels of hilarious.
Or Spider-Man versus Batman analysis hilarity.
Oh
It also
god.
doesn't have. It's not as funny as Saul versus Ragnar just because of that man.
Oh god, yeah.
That man. Which man? That man. Yeah,
Not
I know.
man.
Which man?
That man.
Oh, God.
My God.
If they ever do another Guilty Gear episode, that has to make a reference at some point.
Yeah, we have the guy's name now. I don't even know what he looks like.
Didn't that get revealed after the episode came out?
I think so.
Yeah,
Like,
they also
just
revealed what
after.
he looks like. So he also revealed what he looks like as well. If anyone's curious, if you know Whitley and Ruby, imagine him with a bit more muscle and wearing some weird like Beyblade thing over his right eye.
Mm.
You can wield
Be
magic.
my boy.
So, I think that's everything we have to say about Macho Man versus Kool Aid Man, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I'm just.
the thing I was gonna add when Macho Man does that blah, that's the red versus blue death sound.
I know that's what I said by foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just that. Oh, when did you guys place this on your personal lists?
I've warmed up to it as I've rewatched it, but it's still around the bottom of the season for me.
It's in my
same
top.
for me.
It's in my top 10, but I like number 9 or 8.
Well, considering there's like 11 episodes in total
I know.
so far, at least.